Alright, so we're gonna talk about trig because I freaking love trig, and we're running out of time to talk about it. So, here we go. Here's a perfect world I accidentally created when I pasted a picture of myself in Microsoft Paint over and over and said Alex Jones in the mirror 3 times. Anyway, in this world we have the 3 basic trig functions: sine, cosine, and tangent, and their respective reciprocal functions: secant, cosecant, and cotangent. The problem here is that we don't live in a perfect world, and we have fingertips but not toe tips, yet we can still tiptoe. What we do is switch secant and cosecant so that the names don't make any sense. Look how easy this would be. Look how much sense this makes. But instead, we swap them in a top 10 anime plot twist moment, and now we have to balance some kind of trigonometric ionic compound just to make sense of it all. Heck, why do we even need the reciprocal functions at all? Is this really too hard to write? And all we need is the first 3 functions. And keep in mind that while on its own it's not too bad, when you pile on all the little complicated things that math education has to offer, it suddenly becomes very confusing, sometimes borderline nonsensical. And the last thing we need is more nonsense. How could anyone let this happen? How could anyone in their right mind make these functions? I feel like throwing something. Oh, Violet. Ah! Alright, the truth is, I already know why the reciprocal functions have their names. That's because they were defined in geometry. Here we have the unit circle with the measurements we derived from block day, remember? Well, if we draw a line perpendicular to our terminal side / radius, and cut the line off at the x and y axis, we're left with the tangent here and the cotangent here. And if you take the distance from the origin to this point where the tangent touches the x-axis, well, that's the secant. And if you take the distance from the origin to the point where the cotangent touches the y-axis, that's the cosecant. It's these values that were innately useful for architects who needed precise measurements for angles, and sailors who needed to calculate their position using the North Star, back in the time where large tables of solutions to these functions were more practical than getting out pen and paper and doing the math. In this unit circle definition, it just feels natural to give all these lengths names. But that's not the world we live in anymore. As Grant Sanderson puts it, the reciprocal functions are a tattoo on math. While seeming worthy in permanence in its inception, over the years, it's lost a lot of its importance. I'll leave you guys with a fun fact. Birth is a curse. Existence is a prison. You can solve an equation with inverse operations. And as always, thanks for watching.